Alrighty, folks. Um, welcome back. Welcome back to Urban Security Agents. Um, Tonight, I am going to be going over some. I had already posted this, but I just want to reiterate this. I've got a computer to help me out instead of my handwriting, which isn't bad, but it's not good either. Excuse me. So I'm gonna be drinking coffee and probably smoking some cigarettes while I go through this. Okay. So if that offends anybody, I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm doing these videos one in part for my company. My guys need to know this, and I'm also doing this for a civilian class and course that I'm trying to get together. Um, Hopefully this summer. Um, so that being said, uh, jump on over to YouTube, like, share, subscribe. This will be on Facebook and this will be on TikTok as well. I'm going to try to make each of these about 10 minutes long. Try to. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'm going to try to. So, that being said, tonight I am going to do KRS, which is Kentucky Revised Statutes. And this is definitions and justifications and whatnot for the use of physical force and self protection. Okay? Now, I'm sure that this is just one part of many parts uh, that KRS has. Okay? If you have any questions or want to look up what I'm talking about, you're more than welcome to. The You can Google it. KRS or Kentucky Revised Statutes, Chapter 503. Chapter 503. Okay. Um, all right. Well, let's get started on the definitions for this particular one. Uh, First of all, I'm going to do a couple of sets of definitions. I don't. I feel like this just doesn't cover everything that's going to be talked about. So let's jump into it. The following definitions apply to this chapter unless the context otherwise requires. Number one, deadly physical force means force which is used with the purpose of causing death or serious physical injury, or which the defendant knows how to create a substantial risk of causing death or serious physical injury. Two, dwelling. Dwelling means a building or a conveyance of any kind, including any attached porch, whether the building or conveyance is temporary or permanent, mobile or immobile, which has a roof over it, including a tent, and is designed to be occupied by people lodging therein at night. Now, that would be your home, that would be, a building, that would be a tent, obviously. Excuse me. Imminent. Imminent means impending danger in the context of domestic violence and abuse as defined by KRS 403.720. Belief is that danger is imminent can be inferred from a past pattern of repeated serious abuse. Number 4, physical force means force used upon or directed towards the body of another person and includes confinement. Number 5, residence means a dwelling in which a person resides either temporarily or permanently or is visiting as an invited guest. Vehicle means a conveyance of any kind, whether or not motorized, which is designed to transport people or property. Now, this is effective as of July 12th, 2006, and it gives a history, and I'm not going to go through all that, okay? It ranges from January 1st of 1975 to 2006, okay? Moving on. Excuse me. I've got to rearrange some stuff here real quick. Moving on. Uh, all right. So the next set of definitions that I'm going to cover, which a lot of these are covered in what I'm going to be reading. This is 501.020 definition of mental states. Number one, intentionally. A person acts intentionally with respect to a result or to conduct described by a statute defining an offense when his conscience objective is to cause that result or to engage in that conduct. Number two, knowingly. A person acts knowingly with respect to conduct or to a circumstance described by a statute defining an offense when he is aware that his conduct is of that nature or that the circumstance exists. Wantonly. Number three, wantonly. A person acts wantonly with respect to a result or to a circumstance described by a statute defining an offense when he is aware of and consciously disregards a substantial and unjustifiable risk that the result will occur or the circumstance exists. The risk must be of such nature and degree that disregard thereof constitutes a gross deviation from the standard of conduct that a reasonable person would observe in the situation. A person who creates such a risk but is unaware thereof solely by reason of voluntary intoxication also acts wantonly with respect thereto. Number four, recklessly. A person acts recklessly with respect to a result or to a circumstance described by a statute defining an offense when he fails to perceive the substantial and unjustifiable risk that the result will occur or that the circumstance exists. The risk must be of such a nature and degree that failure to perceive it constitute a gross deviation from the standard care that a reasonable person would observe in this situation. Alright guys, this is the definitions. This is part one. There's going to be several of these parts put together. Like I said, I'm trying to keep them all under 10 minutes. Alright? Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.